Hillary Clinton is back. Live from Munich 2026. She's delivering a chilling warning about the death of democracy. Is this her 2028 comeback? Let's find out.
Well, that was an extraordinary panel for so many reasons, but I think Bob and Kasia really summed it up. I mean, the courage, the commitment, the optimism on this stage should be inspirational, I think, to all of us. Because as we've heard, autocracies now outnumber democracies for the first time in 20 years. And nearly 3/4 of the world's population today lives under autocratic regimes. So this is not some abstract conversation we're having here at the World Forum. This truly is about the future. Will we give in to this reality, or will we continue to resist and fight against it?
Wait, did she just say troops in the streets of America? Clinton is painting a dark picture of the current U.S. administration. This is a massive escalation. Watch this.
And we're seeing it in the United States. Troops in the streets, the rule of law shredded, political opponents persecuted, the federal government gutted, the rule of law ignored, tax cuts for billionaires, polluters given free rein to poison our air and water. And I think the struggle in the United States is absolutely the struggle for the future of freedom everywhere. Now, I think we will hear at this forum the rest of today a lot of stories that should inspire us and remind us about what's happening on the front lines around the world as people try to stop the erosion of rights, stand up against authoritarianism. But I think it's also critically important, as we heard all from our panelists and beforehand, that there are certain things each and every one of us can and must do.
She's talking about the erosion of rights. For many in the U.S., this sounds like a direct attack on the GOP platform. She's calling for a fight for truth. But whose truth?
We do have to fight for truth and combat misinformation, which has an enormous impact on how people across the globe think about their own lives and what they want for themselves and their children. We have to do a much better job of promoting shared prosperity, to have a commitment to doing all we can to help people get ahead, to get that job that they need, to have that income to support themselves and their children. And we have to do more to invest in women. When we think about truth, let's be honest.
Now, the tech war. Hillary claims AI and social media are poisoning us with hatred. She's going after the algorithms that run our lives. This is getting intense.
The information ecosystem from which most of us today get our information is broken. AI and social media supercharge lies. The algorithms underlying them reward negative messaging, hate, and fear. The autocrats attack academia and media because they are potential sources of truth and facts. And they therefore leave people vulnerable to manipulation and polarization. I sometimes hear people saying that we are living in a post-truth world. Well, a post-truth world is not a world I want to live in. It is certainly a post-trust world, and by definition it makes a democracy which has to be glued together by truth and trust impossible. So we need to do more to protect independent media, to lift up journalists, to fight back online. We heard, Bob and Kasia talking about how much better the other side, the post-truth other side is in getting a message out. We've got to get better at that and to rebuild trust.
The economic system is rigged. That's a phrase we usually hear from the other side. Clinton is trying to win back the working class. Can she pull it off?
Secondly, economic opportunity, because when people see or believe that the economic system is rigged against them, they are willing to hear anybody who promises to fix it for them. And unless people see that democracy can deliver, they will turn for easy answers to strongmen leaders.
Clinton's core message: democracy dies when women's rights are attacked. She's linking global security directly to gender equality. This is her rallying cry.
Third, women. Attacks on democracy are usually presaged by attacks on women. From suffrage to the civil rights movements, women's participation has fueled democracy's progress. And therefore, when autocrats move to take power, they target women. They roll back legal protections. They dismantle health care. They do everything they can through rhetoric and action to confine women to the home and out of the public sphere. But women are fighting back. From Tunisia to South Korea, Poland to Latin America, women are protesting, registering voters, leading legal challenges because they know their movements for their rights are essential to democratic resistance. Now, there is no one formula to save democracy, but there are lots of places to start, and there are many people in this room who are doing just that. Yes, the strong men make the headlines, they make the evening news, but it's in the quiet places, in organizations across the world, in cities and states, where people are doing the hard work of rebuilding trust, standing up for truth, and reclaiming democracy. We saw that in Minneapolis, where we saw neighbors protecting each other. And we are seeing it in many other places around the world today.
It's not just America. Clinton warns that authoritarianism is rising inside Europe, too. The West-West divide is real, and she's standing right in the middle of it.
I think it's also important what we heard about defending democracy inside the countries where it's almost hard to believe that it is under threat. That includes in the United States, but it also includes countries here in Europe. Because the rise of authoritarianism is not a foregone conclusion. But it is important to recognize that the direct threats to democracy and to rights from the right is well organized and well funded.
Here it is. She calls Vladimir Putin the primary instigator and claims he has ready allies inside the U.S. She's naming enemies, and she's not holding back.
There's a transatlantic alliance of autocracy that's standing strong against democracy. And one of the people promoting and funding that is Vladimir Putin. He is the primary instigator of the efforts against democracy across Europe, and he has ready allies in the United States. It is important that those of us who are fighting for democracy, fighting for real economic opportunity and prosperity, not just so that wealth goes to the few, but it goes to the many, and standing up for the rights of women and marginalized groups, recognize what we are up against.
She's doubling down on the vast right-wing conspiracy. In 2026, she says it's better funded and more organized than ever. This is political warfare, folks.
It's been a long time coming. Many years ago, I said there was a vast right-wing conspiracy, and people made terrible fun of me. But you know what? There was and there is. And today, we see evidence of it everywhere we look.
The big one. She just labeled Elon Musk a techno-authoritarian. This fragment is already exploding on X. Clinton versus Musk. Who's winning this battle?
Techno-authoritarians like Elon Musk addressing right-wing political parties here in Germany and in the UK. Do not underestimate how well organized this effort is. It is not spontaneous. It is not just one person with charisma who comes to the forefront. It is a movement to turn the clock back on democracy, on the rule of law, and the rights of us all. So we have to recommit ourselves, and one of the great benefits of the World Forum is that it brings us all together to network, look in each other's eyes, find ways to support what each and every one of us is trying to do. I'm now greatly honored to invite the following leaders to the stage. We just had an excellent conversation at the Women's Progress Dialogue before we began. And so let me introduce Dalia Grybauskaitė, the former president of Lithuania, Zippy Livni, Svetlana, who's already up here, Kawako, who's already up here, and Maniza, the Afghanistan ambassador to Austria, who refuses to leave despite the Taliban ordering her to do so. Please, a round of applause for these brave and...
A 10-minute masterclass in political rhetoric. Was this a warning or a campaign launch? Tell us what you think in the comments. I'm Next Day Report. Subscribe now.